All right, this is how you can calculate your value in dating. First of all, it's out of 35. So it's 20 out of 35 to get over the line of fuckability. That's what you want. Looks is out of 10. Status is out of 10. Money is out of 5. And games out of 10. That's 35. I'll explain it here. For looks. Looks isn't all about the face. It involves the face, height, muscles, protector status, and pre-selection. You can also include the fashion. In aesthetics, you can change your fashion by changing your hairstyle. Money is only out of 5. That's it. If money was so important, then all Asian guys who are rich and shit would get white women. It's not the case. But it helps with your lifestyle. It helps with possibly a future relationship. Status is 2 categories, status and natural status. Earned status is a high value job like DJs and shit like that, lifestyle. Natural status would depend on your race. For example, every single race will get a different score. White people gets 10 out of 10 in this category. Blacks or Indians who look black gets 8 out of 10. Latinos, 7 out of 10 that are tall. But if you're Indian and you look Latino, you still get 7 out of 10. It's what it looks like. Pakistani, East Indians, around 4 out of 10. Middle Eastern, 5 in Europe, or 6. Short blacks are 3 out of 10. They have no protector status or pre-selection. Indians who are curry Indians are 2 out of 10. Asians are 1 out of 10. No matter what. In Europe, it's almost like the category doesn't matter. The status is completely wiped out. So it's more like looks, game, and a little bit of money and whatever. So if you can get 20 out of 35, congratulations, you're over the line of fuckability. It doesn't matter what race you are. You just have to get over that fucking 20 out of 35 line. If you're honest and you score yourself, instead of being a narcissist and giving your looks like fucking 10 out of 10 or 8, you're really like a 4 or 3 for some of you, aesthetically, to women. Then you can work around your race. You can increase your fashion. You can build muscles. You can do all sorts of things to increase your lifestyle. Anyways, enjoy the video. Of course, game has some categories, but you'll learn about it later on.
Looks. A lot of people think, it's all looks. Do looks matter? That's the question. Do looks matter? But you're not really seeing the full spectrum of things, right? The first thing is about looks is a lot of people think it's the face. If it's the face, right, then that means I have a lot of advantages. At least I'm 7 out of 10, right? It's decent. But the point was, if you look at the body, right, I'm pretty short. So I'm boosting my height with stuffing my shoes, heel lifts. And this thing I'm wearing over here, it's actually a muscle suit. See? It's not even real. So this boosts my physique beyond what I'm capable of. So in some ways, there are more categories than just the face. There's the height. There's also muscle mass. So there's muscle mass, height, there's protector status and pre-selection. What it means by that is that when you got protector status, you could protect the girl, you know what I mean? Like the old evolutionary days when the caveman dude can protect his women. That's why it's so important to actually have the ability to protect the women so they feel attracted. It's an evolutionary psychology thing. And the second thing is pre-selection. That means, like, for example, there's a lot of Asian people, Asian guys, the pretty boy type. They're actually very attractive to white girls. Like not saying K-pop, because not the bangs and stuff, but some of the style is actually more pre-selected. The idea is that if you're a certain type, a positive stereotype, women will be attracted to you. Because if other women are attracted to you, automatically, if a woman sees you with other women, they're gonna be like, oh, what's with this guy? He's different. He has, a lot of females around him. Why? And they automatically become a lot more attracted. So in some ways, this is the looks. So looks does have different categories. The second one is called looks, money, but we're not gonna talk too much about money. That's more for relationships. for the money. You know, if you don't have money, you can't really keep up a relationship. So sometimes you need a little bit of a lifestyle, and that's still attractive to women. Think about it this way, okay? The women, like, if they're raising a family, they need a guy with resources. You see what I mean? So they need a guy with resources that can raise a family. So therefore, sometimes this one guy, he'll just get married with one woman. He might only date like 2 or 3 and he gets married. And sometimes, because everything is like lover, boyfriend, provider, and friend zone. So in this case, he's part of the boyfriend provider. And what happens is sometimes, you know, she clucks him. What it means by that is she'll sleep with the lover, okay? The Mr. 1%, the one who sleeps with everyone else, Mr. Pre-selection. So she's gonna sleep with that guy, raise his baby, and then the guy who's a beta male, the provider, he's gonna be the one who's gonna raise the family. You see what I mean? It's very deceptive, but it happens a lot. I'm not saying it happens every time, but it has happened before, because this is how the female psychology works. So that's looks, money, status. Status is like, you know, your status, your fame, all that stuff, where your social standing is. And everyone has a different social standing. You can have cool jobs like being a DJ, or you can be like you can run like you're a club promoter, or you run like a model in like industry or whatever. And that gives you a lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's a cool lifestyle, like Dan Brazilian. Yeah, for Dan Brazilian, he has a cool lifestyle, so therefore it helps a lot, you know. Natural status is different. Natural status is your race. I'm just covering over the song or the soundtrack in this clip. So there's positive stereotypes, neutral stereotypes, and negative. Listen, all these white people in Vancouver, around the world, the girl goes out with the ugliest, tallest white guy. He's ugly as fuck. He looks like fucking inbred. But it doesn't matter because he's white. Because he's white. If you say race doesn't matter, then hypergamy matters. Hypergamy, moving up to class. They have the protector status, ugly face. They look as inbred as Charisma King. But the point is that they have this ugly face. It's because they're white. They have nothing else going for them. They have nothing else going for them. Of course, you dismiss it. People like Charisma King would dismiss it. Black people are also up there too. The tall black ones. Because that protector status that you see in those white guys, they have it too. And Latinos, I'm not talking about short Latinos, I'm talking about these tall Latino guys. They'll pull like crazy. Not all of them. A lot of them are kind of deluded. But the point is, in no empathy, but some of them do pull a lot easily. Doesn't mean they close. Persians are usually in the middle. They're more like the neutral stereotypes. They're not positive or negative. It's just right in the middle. It's kind of like East Indian guys with no accents. They can still be like somewhere in the middle. If he's very whitewashed, like normal and stuff, yeah, but there is a hierarchy. There's always someone on top and the bottom. Negative stereotype is the black students. The short black students are usually the negative stereotypes among the East Indians with an accent who has a shitty fucking fashion. Let's not be around the bush here. Whenever they tell you race doesn't matter, it's called fake news or fake game. It's fake news, fake game. Fuck what they say, it's fake news. Asians have it the worst. Whether or not you have an accent or not, you're still fucking nothing. That's why they like natural and direct game and all this direct shit like RSD. It doesn't even matter. The point is Europe is easier for Asians, but not in North America or West. Learning about this game, and they self-amuse and they say whatever they want without the social skills, okay? It's just gamey and it's uncalibrated. So what happens with that is they're cutting off this part of the map. Looks, natural status, they want this eliminated. They don't want to admit it exists because that must mean that they have to improve their passive value. It means they have to improve their hairstyle. Usually have very like towel dried hair, you know what I mean? Like a lot of they should use more products like pomade, but they always use wax or gel or just like towel dried hair, and it doesn't seem like he can fit into a tribe of white girls. He seems like the odd, he's part of the out group. So basically, this is the category about the natural status. So if you pay attention to this, right, nobody's perfect. For example, I can tell you about one big weakness is for all my students that I've noticed. For example, white students. I've taught a lot of guys who are very tall and they look like male models and stuff. The thing with these guys is that they don't physically escalate in the progressive ladder. They don't touch the girl because they feel it's really creepy. Even to give her like a half hug in the shoulder, hold her hand, they don't do that because they don't have to, they're so privileged. Black students, the thing is that they have a lot of compliance. They're pre-selected by blonde white girls and stuff like that. But the thing is that they escalate really quickly. They don't build the social comfort or they don't build the connection. At that stage, right, that could be the crucial between getting like a higher caliber of women or not. It's not all about physical escalation. The Latinos, they have the biggest ability of all of them to pull. But their fashion's always below average. It doesn't affect them, but they can definitely step up their fashion, you know what I mean? And that's something that can increase the kind of girls they get. They always get the same girls in the same scale. So if they're like 7.5, they only get 7.5s. They don't go any higher. So East Indian clients who have no, it doesn't matter, Middle Eastern, a lot of Middle Eastern people, right, are very stubborn. They're very egotistical and they get butt hurt easily, to be honest. And it's hard to give them advice. So therefore they don't really improve their day game. So they can only make it so far as a pickup artist. And the last one is that Asians, East Indians and Asians. East Indians, the thing is being too serious actually hurts your game because if you're too serious, she's gonna put her guard up. You see that? Her guard's gonna be up, especially a white girl. So the thing is that when you're having fun, it kind of lowers the guard and that's what's gonna help them. It's not because of their skin color. They don't care as much as you think. Because you could be really good looking too, right? Like a lot of East Indian guys are taller than the Asian clients. They're much stronger, taller, and they have better hairstyles. Like they spike their hair up and they wear polo shirts. They're getting ahead of the Asians. And the Asians, there are no advantages. I'm sorry, but listen. A lot of people think, well, you're talking about this kind of stuff because you're racist or whatever, or you're politically incorrect talking about Asians like this, but I am Asian myself. Okay? A lot of times people forget that. They think I'm just, because I'm so whitewashed, they think I'm not part of the tribe anymore, but I know what it feels like, okay? So when you go for the simple pickup and you go for the RSD stuff, you're actually hurting your chances of succeeding and you're gonna go to a night game. That happens a lot in Vancouver. So my advice for that is fix up your passive value first of all, fit into her tribe, fix your hair, fix everything up. And second of all, don't put white women on a pedestal because a lot of times we feel like, Asians, they feel like they're not good enough for something. I've dated like so many white girls, seriously, and I've pulled so many. And the thing is, for white girls, they're not that different. They're just human beings, okay? Like, they're just normal human beings. But we think they're some kind of goddesses, and that's bullshit. To me, they have no value until they're sucking my dick. But the third category, or the last category, the fourth or third category, depending on how you look at things. The last category is called game. What is game? It's not just like some kind of PUA book, the game, whatever. The game is actually many categories. For example, you have your vibe, your energy that you give off, confident vibe, fun vibe, all this stuff. Your vibe, your chill vibe is all part of the game. Because think about it this way, there's a lot of guys who are very angry at the world, you know what I mean? And they're projecting a very angry vibe, like, oh, it's all women's fault, they're making excuses, it's my race, is that. The thing is they're projecting a negative vibe and that can hurt the game. The second thing is the personality, like expressions, besides being like confident stuff, it could be the expressions you give. And especially like you can change it from a fun vibe, you can change it to like a seductive tonality, like when you talk like that. You can change it for a natural talking tonality or a romantic tonality or else like a very sexual tonality. The thing is that you can switch the vibes. And that's a really, really important thing to understand is that personality is actually more important than game tactics, okay? Having a more alpha personality is more important than game tactics. Even if you don't have perfect game tactics, but you have a good personality, you are very expressive and you're also very dominant, at the same time, alpha males are not like, they're not assholes, you know what I mean? Like, you always think like, oh, Mr. Squaring Off, douchey, alpha male. No, an alpha male is a leader of a group, and they don't take care of the tribe too. That means the women around them, okay? So that's the thing. And also the game, sometimes when we use like natural direct and say like, say whatever you want to the girl, and you know, just be in the moment and self-amuse, all that stuff is not gonna work, because this is very intermediate filter game. It depends on your looks, natural status, and you're vibing this sort of normal behavior kind of game. This is not gonna work. So the thing is that with this style, it's very technical, so it's very powerful. It can get you some results that are not really normal with RSD kind of game or simple pickup. 3-minute conversation, number close is not gonna work, and a compliment in the beginning. So that's game. So when you think about all the categories, the first one is called UAR, Universal Attractive Rating. That's the looks. So even if your second one is called the SMV, your sexual market value. And the last one is called game. And game is how much you need to compensate. So if you're lower on the natural status scale, you better start looks maxing, or you better start game maxing. These two things are gonna help you. So I would suggest that's what you focus on. So I hope that makes a lot of sense. And I know this is not the most politically correct speech I've ever said in my life. You may not like what you're hearing, but I can assure you, this is actually the truth. Instead of trying to, saying this is limiting belief, just like saying the word conspiracy theory or fake news, just dismissing everything. Actually, why not use it to your advantage and try to work around your disadvantages and try to work in other categories to compensate? That's my suggestion for this video. The faster, and the thing with my Asian clients is that they usually will go to RSD and simple pickup. They'll go to 2 systems and they get burned twice. And after they get burned twice, then they'll finally come to us. So hopefully it doesn't take you 2 times. Adapt, absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add uniquely what is your own. And on that note,
and I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying